We have seen cuts to education statewide, but some are wondering if a new investment from one university that involves the air here will pay off during a time when pennies are being pinched. With a FOX23 investigation, here's Rick Marinon.
I do pay my own tuition, so it's a little frustrating having to work more to pay for school.
Tuition went up 6% this year at Oklahoma State University, and students fear another hike is coming.
I've only got, one more year, maybe another semester, so I'm glad I'm getting out pretty soon.
But what students at America's Brightest Orange don't know is that part of their tuition went up not just in cost, but into the blue sky.
$4,000 for traffic.
I'm at $4,000.
That's because of this agreement between the city of Stillwater, OSU, and American Airlines. It establishes what is called Revenue Guarantee Air Service to Stillwater. Revenue guarantee means an airline will only fly into a small city if local officials can make sure the airline will not operate the flight at a loss. What the airline doesn't make will be made up and paid to them, usually with public funds. In this case, OSU agreed to pay American up to $1.5 million over 2 years in revenue guarantees.
A lot of good things are ahead for us. We certainly are making a lot of investments in our facilities, and that's the way we look at it, and the City Council looks at it as an investment.
Stillwater Airport Director Gary Johnson tells me the agreement was the only way to get commercial airline service to the town, hoping to expand student recruitment and boost the local economy. He says they've copied their agreement based off successes others have had, such as Mizzou in Columbia and Kansas State in Manhattan. On this particular night, there were numerous passengers aboard this plane. However, according to this agreement that we found, even if this plane flew empty, American would still make a profit because Stillwater and OSU would pick up those costs to keep the flight going. But Johnson believes hardly any of the funds will be used. The planes are mostly full and believes if there is any revenue shortfall, the payout will be small. In fact, Johnson believes the flights have been so successful so far, they may not need to disperse any funds.
Just proven to be very successful at the onset.
A spokesman for OSU tells me the $1.5 million came from the school's general fund, but OSU doesn't believe it will have to pay out all of the money because the flights have been at or near capacity. I was told by the airport that they believe a slowdown could come in the summer when students leave town, but the money used to make up the lost revenue would be nowhere near the total funds pledged.
The success that we're seeing here, we're just going to have to see because we're really blazing a trail here.
Oklahoma Senator James Lankford has been a staunch opponent of revenue guarantee flights, calling it a misuse of public funds. He filed a bill in Congress that would let market forces determine whether or not a city should have airline service.
We can't continue to sustain programs that are economic development jump starts in communities where historically that same program has not worked out in other communities most of the time.
I showed OSU's agreement to Lankford. He tells me he isn't going to tell the school how to spend its money, and he understands their needs.
My issue is not that we have air service in the Stillwater, it's who should make the incentive to be able to pay for that.
But if the market could sustain airline service, it wouldn't have required the agreement.
This is risk that's happening on the federal taxpayer, on the counties, and in this case on the university as well. And then we'll see if American Airlines can be able to make it work.
Covering news that matters, I'm Rick Marinon, Fox 23 News.